Hello, Crossroads. I hope you're doing well. I'm really excited to be here, and I'm excited to see so many familiar faces in the audience. So I think I'm gonna just get into it. We'll look at some numbers first. I'm talking about Gen Z's role in Web3. So this is a statistic that actually shocked me a lot when I first saw it, so hopefully it'll have the same effect on you. According to Bank of America, Gen Z will be the largest and richest generation by around 2035. So that is a very important statistic, and that kind of provides the context for this entire presentation. So Gen Z is also the first digitally native generation, which also leads us into the attention economy, which is a very important aspect of the digital world. I think that when it comes to Gen Z, we have sort of this perception of always being chronically online, which is great, but it also leads to a couple other issues, which we'll get into shortly. This is another interesting statistic, is that 66% of Gen Z correspondents to a poll stated that social media offers a boosted brand image, and 39% stated that brands and memes, as well as jokes, also apply a boosted brand image. So this leads me to my point. I believe that meme coins are the problem in the current generation, as they're not the correct entry point, nor the correct way to onboard the next generation. And this is currently, the situation that we're in is that a lot of these young individuals are entering the space via meme coins as they're digitally native. It's something they can resonate with. So this is what I'll be covering today. So this video here is about my friend Ethan. I've known him for a long time. He'll tell you a little, I think it's better that you hear from him, his story, and what happened to him with meme coins and his experience to get a little bit of a better understanding as to what I'm talking about.
I thought about meme coins through TikTok, Instagram. I just saw kids my age are making a lot of money and I'm doing it really fast. I decided I'm not getting out at it while I was still on it.
And would you say you had an overall positive or negative experience with crypto?
Personally, I've had a negative experience with this just because I lost basically all the money out of me over the summer, and I really don't think that meme coins are a good starting place for people who are just getting into crypto like I was, because they kind of leave a bad taste in your mouth and you lose money, in that you've started to realize that this isn't a game where we're all in this together, but it's a game of who can screw everyone else over first.
This next video, I think some of you may know. I'll explain a little bit after, but here's just a little bit of context of the next example I want to provide.
Wombat. Oi.
E voltou.
Pessoas betas.
So this not so well-spoken 15-year-old's name is Griffin. He started originally, well, as you saw in the video, he rug pulled, but he started originally trading meme coins, and these are some of his attempts. On his first attempt, he lost about $1,300. On his second attempt, he lost about $1,900, which totals out to a loss of $3,300 just in trading meme coins. The next question I have is, was it all worth it for 20 bandos, as he said? And I believe the answer to this is no. He sacrificed not only his integrity in the space, but also the potential to provide value and get something in return from the value that he provides. So it was not worth it for 20 bandos. I think this is an important, there's one slide, I think this is one of the most important ones. I think that contributing value in the space is significantly more important than any cash grab. The space is more than just a casino. It's a place where you can plant the seeds and really see the fruits of your labor after the work that you put in. So I think this is an interesting topic here as well. It's important to tell my story, not just because it's interesting, but because it provides sort of like the framework for what I know and what has worked in the past for people my age, and how we can change the narrative and go a different route here. So this is a very important slide as well. I think the most valuable aspect of Web3 for Gen Z is not the monetary potential, but the opportunity for personal growth. And hopefully you'll see this reflected here. In 2021, I started by minting DJ Ape Academy. Unfortunately, I failed, which at the time was a little bit devastating to me. but this I kind of thank that happened, because without failing, I don't think I would be here today. If I would have just taken the quick flip and gone with the money that I had made here, I might have grown complacent and not continued on in my journey to find other ways to succeed. In 2021 and 2022, I started trying to monetize some of my poetry that I was writing at the time. I started writing poetry, and some of these poems were with pixel art backgrounds, and these are just pictures from an event that my poetry was featured in during this time, and yeah, in Seattle, in a hacker house in Seattle. This here is Vibu. Some of you guys may recognize him. I think that this is one of the most genuine relationships I've had. He's like a mentor to me, and honestly, I wouldn't be here without him. He decided to give me a shot, and as you can see, he decided to give me a shot to release the Faceless, which is a collection of generative CNFTs of about 350,000 supply, which is a very big milestone for Drip, which was a crypto social media platform. And he decided to give me a chance to create the art for this collection and also help manage the launch, which is great. As you can see, Toli, the founder of Solana, had one of the Faceless as his profile picture. And then even the DJ News reported that we had over 48,000 sales of the NFTs or CNFTs in the first 24 hours of the release. So yeah, and then in 2024, I visited NFT NYC, and then I started a podcast, which is The Wave. As you can see, my brother who's in the audience right here. He's one of my co-hosts for the podcast. I think the podcast was a great opportunity not only to learn, but also to grow an experience of like video editing. But the biggest opportunity for sure was meeting the people, forming more genuine relationships, and learning from them and what they had to say. It was great to make content, but it's also good to learn from the people you interview, which I'm glad I did, as I interviewed many different people, such as CEOs, CMOs, as you can see, an attorney, Ariel Givner over there, and a wide range of people, which I learned a lot from. Now I am working with Marinade, and previously I had worked with Dialect. Over here I'm the intern. I do some of the content work. Really exciting stuff. So if you don't know these, please be sure to check them out. A ship that doesn't start well seldom arrives well is an ancient proverb that I think is very relevant for the situation. When the ship, in this case, the ship is Gen Z, when the ship doesn't start well by losing money on meme coins, it leaves a bad taste in their mouth, and they don't want to arrive at the location, which is like overall success and personal growth. So I guess this is where we can find out how we can fix this. The first step is education. I think conviction is one of the foundations of our industry, and without education, there's no such thing as conviction. We first have to start by educating the current generation and finding ways to grow that conviction within them and really teaching them about the technological aspects and innovation, as opposed to extracting value, really just adding value as a base. The other one is mentorship. Like I said, it is very important that we guide the next generation on the path of innovation and extraction, and some on the path of innovation, not extraction. I think some of the best ways for mentorship include jobs, internships, and networking. All of these add to personal growth within the industry. As I've seen in my experience, a lot of this has benefited me personally, but it has also led me to make contributions to the space. So yeah, that's a great way to go about that. This is very important. The new narrative here should be that Web3 is not a get-rich-quick scheme. True success comes from intelligent investments and real technological value, genuine connections, and opportunities to learn. So the entry is flawed. Let's fix it. Anyone have any questions? Nope. In that case, that should be it. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time. Have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the conference.